I was injured all around my body, was bleeding. I didn't hear anything from all the explosions. We were taken to Gaza. The entire time the mob was trying to lynch us, trying to pull me away from the pickup truck, from the hospitals. I remember thinking that Hamas is my only way to survive because I was something for them while the mob just want to kill me. I actually was less afraid of Hamas. They did some kind of medical treatments, stitches all around my body, no anesthesia. I was so afraid of the mob, so I couldn't make any noise. So I just took a shirt and put it on my mouth so I won't shout. I actually collapsed, and this is the last I remember from October 7th. My name is Levy. I'm originally from Rishon. Now I live in Givatayim. I was married to an amazing wife, Einav, whom I knew ever since I was 19. Got married, and then Almog came, our son. Normal family, living the regular Israeli dream, talking about buying a house, expanding our family, normal stuff. We wanted to go to one summer music festival, so we bought tickets to the Nova Festival. We set Almog to sleep at my mom's parents' house, drove the car and arrived at the Nova parking lot just a minute before all started, meaning 6:28, while everything started 6:29. And at first we thought there were fireworks because, it's a party. Soon we understand it's not the case, and we fled to the nearest bomb shelter, where we hid, first from the rockets. Then we started hearing shooting in the area of the bomb shelter. Aner Shapira, a real hero, was a soldier on vacation, told us terrorists got inside and his friends just killed some of them. We thought this is it. Soon we discover that's not the case, and we started hearing shooting again, shouting in Arabic. Not long after, grenades were started to thrown to the shelter. Aner fought the terrorist, threw 7 or 8 grenades out before he was shot and killed. I also threw 1 grenade out. Even an RPG was shot into the shelter. It was a tiny, tiny shelter that fit maybe 4 people. We were 27. Soon after, the terrorists came and started grabbing people out. They took Elia Cohen, Alon Oel, and Hersh Goldberg Polin, and they took me. They took me because I actually begged for my life. I told them I have a son. And of course they filmed everything, but they actually lowered the gun. They dragged me from the shelter. I was injured at that point from all the bombs and grenades. So I couldn't walk. So they pulled me away, threw me in the back of the pickup truck. The last picture I remember is that terrorist shooting inside the shelter while my wife is still there. I didn't know what happened to her, but I didn't want to know. I knew while I'm in Gaza, I can't. It's not an option to know. I won't be strong because I don't have my friends, my family to help me cope with it. And I knew I have to survive. From there, we were taken to Gaza, where we were in 2 different hospitals, 2 apartments. The entire time, the mob was trying to lynch us, trying to pull me away from the ambulance, from the pickup truck, from the hospitals. I remember thinking that Hamas is my only way to survive because I worth something for them, while the mob just want to kill me. So I know it's kind of weird, but I actually was less afraid of Hamas. After that, we were taken to an apartment where I was finally got some kind of a medical treatment. I was injured all around my body, was bleeding. I didn't hear anything from all the explosions. And they did some kind of medical treatment, stitches all around my body, no anesthesia. And I told you I was so afraid of the mob, so I couldn't make any noise. So I just took a shirt and put it on my mouth so I won't shout. And after they finished, I actually collapsed, and this is the last I remember from October 7th. So in the following days, we were in an apartment, and our captives slept with us, and they had radio. So they had information, and from time to time, the radio channel switched to Hebrew, and then we got glimpse of information. This is how we knew there were 251 kidnapped, although we only discovered it maybe 2 weeks after, because this number was only discovered by Israel after a while. The matter of fact that my parents only knew I was kidnapped on the next Sunday, meaning 8 days after. So I mentioned that we've met Hirsch and Ori. They both stay together. They've seen television in the first days of the war, so they've seen mostly everything. So we knew about the number of dead. We knew about where all the terrorists went. We knew about all the kidnapped. So this was the baseline. After a while, they stopped giving us any information, and we had to rely on eavesdropping and, of course, learning Arabic in order to understand what is going on. When you're there, you know nothing. And you're always curious about when you'll get home, what is going on, about your family, about your friends, about my wife. So we eavesdrop, and I think we got a lot of the information. Hirsch was split from us in the first hospital. I saw someone put a blanket on top of his head, so I was certain he's dead. So we were three, me, Elia, and Alon. We were not allowed to talk in the apartment. When we did, it was by whispering. So we only started talking after, I think 5 days. And I remember not really hearing their voices because they whispered. I remember after a while I forgot how my own voice sounds like. And I remember this one day, after maybe 40 days, I put a blanket on my head, and I tried to speak, so maybe I could hear my own voice. Food was, at first it was alright, but really soon it began to drop. And most of the time in the apartment there was only one meal a day. And it's very difficult because this is the only thing you have to wait for. You can't talk. All this time, every few minutes, mind, this is a war. So every few minutes, the apartments shake because of bombings, because of launches of rockets from Gaza to Israel. I remember that we understood at one moment what are launches from Israel, what are launches from Gaza, what are drones, what are missiles from planes or helicopters. We could understand everything. And every launch, you say, maybe it's the last one I would hear. The apartment shakes 24/7. After a while, you understand that if you think about where you are, about the fact that at any moment, at any second, you can die, you can get crazy. So you don't think about it. You think about everything else but this. You think about where you went, where you will go, what food you want to make, whatever you want to do. And when we are in an apartment, it's impossible to speak. So you do a lot of inner talk, a lot of prayers, a lot of things that you want to achieve when you get home. The things you want to amend that you've done wrong in your life. A lot of inner thinking. So after 52 days, during the first deal that got the women and the children out, our captives gave us actually oranges, told us, we have good news for you. Finish your oranges and then we'll tell you. I understood right away it's not good. And I asked them, are we going underground? They said, yeah. And we got into a tunnel for the first time. When we got there, we've met Eli Sharabi, whom I spent until the very last moment together. Ori Danino, Almog Sarusi, and Hirsch, whom up until that moment I was certain dead. We spent 3 unforgettable days together. We talked, we prayed, we laughed. We did so many things together in those 3 days. And Hirsch kept repeating a mantra. He said, he who has a why to live for can bear anyhow. If you can find your why in life, you can do anything. And at that moment we knew this is our mantra in captivity. And even now, I knew right away my why. I knew my Almog, my son. One day, it was 5 a.m. They woke them up, Ori, Almog, and Hirsch, telling them, you're going home. I remember feeling so happy for them. They were all injured, and the more people get home, the better for us, for everyone. I remember Ori's last words to us, smiled, said, see you soon. I didn't know what happened to them. We were sure up until I got home that they are alive, that they relived their life, they're traveling, they even met our families. I didn't know. So from that point on, we were just the 4 of us. Me, Eli, Elia, and Alon, along with our captives in the tunnels. When you live there, it's so difficult. You're chained with the big metal chains. You can barely walk. Sometimes when they didn't have enough chains, they put us together. So I was chained for a month to Elia Cohen. When he wanted to go to the toilet, I went with him. During the time we slept together, if one turned aside, I had to turn with him. Of course, we slept on the floor. Food was the worst. We ate most of the time 1 meal a day. And when I'm talking about a meal, I'm talking about 1 pita a day with half a can of chickpeas, lentils, or something like that. It's something that if you eat 3 meals a day, is not enough, let alone when this is the only meal. So you eat, and then you start counting the seconds, the minutes, the hours. If you're lucky, they'll give you food in 24 hours, if you're lucky. Before October 7, I wasn't really a big believer. And one should assume that when you're there, on a living hell, you would lose the little belief that you had, but for me it was the opposite. At first when we were in an apartment, I used to talk to a crack in the ceiling, pray for it, and I used to call it the crack. And then we got into the tunnel, and I switched this crack with LED light, a small LED light that was on. And then we got to a different tunnel. And then there was only darkness. And this is when I first said the word God. And from that point, I spoke to God. And when it was, it was very hard there. Hard wouldn't cut. But whenever it became, let's say, too hard, whenever I told myself enough, I would talk to God, ask Him for something to save us, something. And you know that mostly every time that I've said it, that I really felt like enough, something good happened. It can be 1 pita divided by 4, it can be a cup of tea, which means nothing to most of you. But when you're there, it can change how you see a day, from the worst to the best. And when you're there, the little wins are what you need, or what helps you get through the day. So yeah, I think I have discovered the belief there. On 3 different cases that I can tell specifically, I accepted death, to be honest. And I said Shema Israel. I don't know why I said it, to be honest, I don't know. But somehow I survived. And when you survive near-death experience over and over again, you start believing that I'll survive, that I'll survive for a reason. And it helped me. I remember at the worst place, in the worst tunnel, when it was total darkness, I remember that I've understood something. I've understood the importance of optimism and belief. I remember talking about the negotiation. We talked about it every time. And we talked about it, and I remember I said it every time. I don't know if the negotiation is at 10% or at 90%. So if I don't know, let's believe it's closer to 90. I might be naive, But it's better to be naive, in my eyes, than to be pessimistic. And it was hard because you go day after day after day, and you get bad news all the time. And you feel the danger, and you feel the hunger, and you feel everything. But I don't know why, from that point, every day I said, maybe tomorrow. I knew that I have my son alive, waiting for me, and I knew I don't want to make him an orphan. And we talked also about it. We talked about, we gave, let's call it a bad book or movie to our family. But at least this movie would have a happy ending. So I have to survive, and I have to keep myself sane. And I also have to stay optimistic that maybe tomorrow we'll get home. This one time, this one guy from Hamas asked us, one of our captives, he was very serious. He asked us, why do you Jews value the living? Because for them, they value the dead more. And when you understand that, you understand the key difference between us and them. They don't care about the living. He was serious. He really wanted an answer for that. And you would think this was like 20-year-old. Now he's 50. And when you understand this is the thing that they believe in, you understand you can't really fight that. And for them, there is a twisted logic. They believe that they're fighting a holy war against Bnei Israel, they call it, over the land of Israel. And some of them even believe that there isn't any France, there isn't United States, there isn't. As one Hamas once told me, Kulna Arab. We are all Arab. And this is what a lot of them believe in. And when you understand that, you understand it's impossible to do any negotiation with them. So a few weeks before I got released, we started, I told you we were eavesdropping. We started hearing stuff. I remember this once, every time they would repeat 2 words, like a mantra. They said, Netanyahu doesn't want, in Arabic. Netanyahu bidush. This one time, after they were talking about a deal that should get 30 women and old people out, we actually heard them talking and heard them for the first time telling Netanyahu bidu. Netanyahu wants. And this was after over 460 days, more than a year. And I remember feeling so ecstatic. And soon after, we saw different stuff in the tunnel. A lot of our captives went out. We heard over TV people in the street cheering. We understood that something is up, but we didn't know if we're on the list. Then came a senior Hamas officer, actually removed the chains from our legs. He gave us food, even gave us toothpaste. After a year, well, we didn't have any. Got us hot showers for the maybe first time in well over a year. A week after he came again. It was Friday night. He pointed at me at Ellie, telling me, you and you going home next Saturday. It was on February 1st. February 8th, you're going home. Elia Cohen, you're going home March 1st. Alon Noel, you're on the next list. We didn't believe them at first. Then he pulled a laptop and showed us picture of all of us, of all the 30 people that got released in the deal. Even show us a table of who, name, and date of release. So we understood at that point that something is up. Then it was quite possibly the longest week in my life, where I knew I'll probably go out next Saturday. But how do you go to sleep after 490 days where you're waiting for this? You can't really smile, you can't really be happy, because I mentioned we were 4, only 3 of us got a good answer. One of us still didn't, still doesn't. So we couldn't really smile, and also we understood that, this is not Switzerland. At any moment they can kill us, they can do anything. I mentioned Hirsch, Ori, and Almog. They were all killed after they were told they are going home. But you understand that at this moment it's better than what we had before. So you just pray. There was this circus that put us on stage with a lot of people, a lot of terrorists, put in a microphone in my hand, telling me to say, Hamas, thank you. Thanks for keeping me alive. Thanks for saving me while my own country wanted me dead. This is literally the words that I've said. After that, we were taken to a Red Cross car. From that point, the Red Cross took us to the border. There I saw the military for the first time. It's a feeling I can't really describe in words. It's something that you dreamt about every day. You try to imagine it. After a while, I couldn't even imagine it, I knew I'll go home. I knew, but I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine how it would be, even though I tried really hard. And then I came. I've seen this woman from the army, and I asked her, by the way, about my wife. She told me she was murdered. And a second after, she showed me a video of my son. So it was simultaneously the best and the worst day of my life. I got my freedom. I got my life back. It's not just freedom, because when you're there, you don't really live. People say, how do people live there? I don't think they live. You just wait. Wait, and you're between life and death. So for me, when I saw this video of this smiling kid, understanding this is my own, because I didn't see him for 491 days. I left when he was a baby, 2 years old. Now he's 3.5. But I knew at that moment, even before, but I knew it was all worth it because I returned to him. All this time when I was there, I prepared myself to the possibility, to the genuine possibility, they won't remember me. You might see pictures, but you won't remember me. You won't remember Dad. And every day I used to pray and prepare myself that you won't remember me, and I promised every day to Einav and to myself that I'll work to regain his trust, to be a dad again. But then he saw me and he just shouted, Abba O, Abba O. He hugged me, laughed. Then he asked me why it took me so long to come back. We all laughed. Then he asked, where's Mom? And I started crying. Then he answered it calmly, said, Mom is dead. And up until today, it's one of the hardest sentences that, for me, a kid can say. So I cried even worse. Then he hugged me. And I understand at that moment, he is stronger than all of us. And up until today, he is my strength. He is what's given me power. And from that point on, we are inseparable. Every day we slept together, we sleep together. Even here, he's with me. For me, when I came back, I see all the faces looking at me, feeling sorry for me. I really do. But I don't want to feel sorry for myself. I want to smile every day. I want to be happy every day. Don't get me wrong, I cry and I mourn, but I also try to enjoy life. And for me, this is the real victory, because I know I've went through a living hell. I know I've lost my wife. I know I've lost so much, but now I'm here, and this is my victory. And I know that sometimes people are going through rough times, but the fact is, if you get stronger and get through those rough times, you can thrive. And this is what I try to do every day. And I think this is what's my giveaway from being there. I do think that from every difficult thing that we had suffered, and you can go centuries, we learned and we thrived. I mean, we went through, the Jewish nation went through Holocaust. Before that, all the times that we were hated. Even October 7 was the lowest point of the country. But I want to believe that after that, we will thrive. We can only thrive when we get everyone out. And until we get everyone out, we can't really finish with that chapter. And for me, the main reasons why I do this, why I talk, is first to give hope to people, Second, and most important, to help bringing all of my brothers and sisters home. Because for me, this is the most important thing. Alon, I was talking about Alon. I was there with him. He's still there. And he's going through a living hell. Him and all the rest, and all their families. And for me, I understand that maybe I got my salvation, but I can't really rest, and I can't really start recovering until everyone gets home. And I think that us and the Jewish community in general won't be able to continue until this is over. One sentence that I hear all the time, Am Yisrael Chai. And I can really feel genuinely that people here feel it. They're not saying just as a mantra. They really feel it. And to be honest, it makes me very stronger. The fact that there are still 50 people there, the help that people outside of Israel is doing means the world to those people, and even more to those people, families, which need every bit of help. And I feel thankful. All the help, all the support, all the love, it means the world.